Hello, hello. Welcome back, YouTube. Today is Thursday, so we did not stream yesterday. Yesterday, I had the great privilege of attending the Deadline Sound and Screen concert. So my book here, which was a fantastic concert. If you follow me on LinkedIn, I just posted about it. Link in bio, by the way. Great concert, showcasing some recent and upcoming film scores with a live orchestra, um, and live singers were there. Kesha was there. I mean, like it was a big deal, and it was a great concert. I'm super happy that I went, um, and I am certainly looking forward to going back to this concert next year. So, if you are a musician and you are not a part of the Society of Composers and Lyricists, you should join because they have um, events like this all the time, and it's great. And super glad I went. Um, so, yeah. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to come on here and we're going to write some music that's not necessarily for a specific project or anything, but it's just music that I want to write and feel compelled to write, if you will. Um, so we're in the middle of writing some very aggressive combat-based, like battle music, if you will. Like if it was for a video game or something, it'd be kind of like your combat, um, sort of super aggressive and intense sort of stuff. Um, so we're gonna jump back into that. Be sure to subscribe, like the live stream if you want, share it with your friends and family. Go check out this Beacons link right here. That's also in the description of this video. There you can find all my streaming services and social media platforms. If you want to support the channel that way, I do greatly appreciate it. Bandcamp is there also if you want to buy digital versions of my music. It's all there available if you want to go out and do that. I do really appreciate it. So, let's see. Let me just hop on over to Logic here. We got our session pulled up, and like I've mentioned before, I've started doing some orchestration work for another composer. So I open up different Logic sessions besides this one that I'm currently in. So when I go in here to do my own stuff, it takes a while to load up all the samples and everything because there's a lot of libraries here. Um, so we're getting upwards to 9 GB of memory. Um, so it's thankfully my computer is pretty beefy and can handle it pretty well. But it does take a little bit of time to load up all the samples. Um, so it's still kind of in the process of doing that. I tried to make sure that I gave it enough time to do that, but I was working until I pretty much until I started live streaming. So, with that being said, it does take a little bit of time for things to load up here. Um, so I have my piano open just to test. Oh, you can probably hear it, but I can't because I got to turn up my own volume. Make sure that you can hear Logic coming through on your end. So I think we're good. Um, Hopefully we're not going to drop too many frames. We're looking pretty steady right now, so that's all good. So we're going to jump right on into it. I wonder, someone tell me if this would be annoying if I did, because on my music Instagram I post little countdowns for when I go live. I wonder if I should also post on my story. Like when I'm actually live. I don't know. Is that too many posts? I don't know. Smile for the camera, everybody. Smile. Uh, Sorry, just doing some housekeeping. I gotta put a link to the live stream and all that. And uh, as I've mentioned before, I am absolutely not a YouTuber, right? I'm just a composer who is trying to grow an audience through YouTube. So bear with me. Okay, let's get right on into it. We're probably gonna drop out and not be able to play anything. It's probably going to say we're overloading the system, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And we crossed that bridge already. Yeah, it just takes a while. If we isolate our strings, the strings is what's causing most of the problem, because if you look, we have a ton of regions playing. So you can kind of hear some of the clipping and just drop notes and whatnot. It happens. So if we wanted to like wait an hour for it to completely load up, then we might be able to do that, but I don't want to spend the time to do that, obviously. So we're just going to have to bear with it. And if we overload the system, then we'll just have to keep going. There it is. I knew it was a matter of time. Okay, whatever. That's fine. It'll settle itself down. The longer we go on, it'll work itself out. What I wanted to do today is actually get our woodwinds working. Because I feel like I haven't written for woodwinds in quite a while. Why do I have two piano sketch lines? That's strange. So what we're gonna do, a lot of the woodwinds will double our strings here. I don't know if I want to bring them in right at the beginning. I am going to go over to my bassoons. Bassoons are very commonly paired with the cello. So we're going to do that here in the bassoons. What range should be best? This is kind of in the middle of their range. We'll go right here. That's fine. We're just going to double the cellos, but I'm not going to copy and paste it because I want it to still have that sort of human feel. So I'm not just going to like double everything. That also does cause some other issues that we don't want to run into. So, all right, so we're going to take this. We're going to, except for these little quarter note triplets here, we're going to quantize to the 8th note, not at 100% strength. We're going to quantize these to the quarter note triplet, or the 8th note triplet, actually. Again, not at 100% strength. I don't want it to be too robotic. Do we want bass clarinet? Might take bass clarinet and double the double bass down here. Is there a reason I can hardly hear it though? Is it just because the sample isn't loaded, or is it because this library is just not, or this instrument patch is not very good? Whatever, I'll double the basis anyways. If theoretically this was given to a live orchestra, I would want them to be doing something. So whether the samples do really speak is not all that important. It's going to be drowned out by the string bass anyways. Alright, I think that was pretty accurate. I don't think I need to quantize that at all. Had my 5 tuplets subdivision in my head pretty well. Now, when we think about flutes, oboes, clarinets, there are some decisions that need to be made, particularly in who's going to play what line, and are they going to be in unison, or are we going to do some dovetailing sort of stuff? Right, so there's some decisions to be made here. I think I keep the upper woodwinds out until this section. Until these groupings of notes. That's kind of how it feels to me. These last 2 beats of our 5/8 meter kind of get this emphasis. And having the woodwinds joined there on all these moving notes kind of leaves the string texture unscathed on they're not trills, but these triplet figures here that kind of just like turn around on itself, kind of leave that as just a string texture by itself. So we're going to, I'm not going to be able to record that in myself because I would fall over myself. Um, so I'm gonna just take these notes, copy them. We're gonna go to our piccolo first. Okay, now because I posted or pasted this into piccolo legatos, their first note is velocity based, like how the attack of the note. So I want the velocities high for the legato transition between notes, but this first note, I don't want it to have such a sharp attack. Except for maybe this one, actually. So I'm going to bring the velocity down to these ones. And then I wonder if I should do the same thing that I did for all the other strings, where we paste it into the different articulations and try and blend some articulations together. Let's see, what do we have in the longs? Do we have long flutters? That might help. Just kind of gives it some smeariness. And then obviously the shorts here gonna be staccatissimo. Let's hear this just by itself. Let's turn down the flutter a little bit. Let's take out this flutter actually. I think that works. I'm unsure if I want this line in the piccolo though, because the range of the piccolo kinda these lines, the range of this is so far away from, it's like what, 2 octaves above, which I think might be a little too big of a spread. So let's move this into the just standard flute and drop them down an octave. So flute loaded up? Not quite. Still working. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, hold on. It might just be because the samples haven't loaded in yet. Or it might be these are loading in the wrong. Yeah, that is not staccatissimo. Why are we playing tenuto, huh? Are my key switches off? Check my key switches real quick. Staccatissimo should be on E0, and right now it's on D sharp 1. What happened? Why is that off? So if I just shift it over, grab this little dial and shift the oops, we're still wrong. Right there. Shift the key switches over 1. Now we should be good. I don't know why that was off. There we go. Very nice. So we're gonna go ahead and just repeat this. Let's join these regions, and then I gotta shift these over to, is it right here? Right here. And then I will have the woodwinds do something different than these strings here. We'll go into a different pattern in the woodwinds, or at least in the flutes. And I don't know what the clarinets, oboes are going to be doing, but we'll figure it out. Let's try our oboes with the same pattern here. As I've mentioned before, the balance of all this stuff is incredibly not correct. Essentially because I'm just trying to get all the notes in, right? So obviously some of these velocities might be incorrect, and then there's a whole ton of CC data that we still need to do. We did do some in our legato strings already, but we kind of stopped about halfway through. So that is definitely something we need to get up to speed at some point. All right. I think I go to my clarinet shorts and double the viola here. This might be a little low. Let's do that. Perfect, perfect. on, Logic. You can do it. See how much CPU I'm using here. Yeah, it's alright. I'm not too concerned about it cutting in and out and whatnot. Flutes. We're gonna rest for these 3 bars here. And then we're gonna come in here and we're gonna go. Sorry, I was one bar off. I want to do probably the same amount of notes, not necessarily the same notes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the top. So 8th note triplets or 16th note triplets. I think 8th note triplets. I don't know. But we're gonna go right here in these last. What note? I need to figure out what note they're gonna end on, though. So in the low brass on the downbeat of 15, we have a G, we're just unison G's. Our strings on the downbeat of 15. Unison G in the violin, G, G, and D. So we can end on G, I suppose. So we're gonna do a I know we kind of switched out of the Phrygian mode. We were kind of in the Phrygian mode at the beginning. I guess we still are. Because of this A flat. Yeah, we can do that. So we're just gonna do probably 7 tuplets. 7 tuplet run, just up the G Phrygian scale. Or we could add in the F sharp and make it 8 notes. Let's see about this. You'd be 30-second note runs. See how we feel about this. I don't think that's too fast. I think it'll be just fine, actually. Obviously, CC data is incredibly low here. Well, it's all the way up, but it doesn't sound like it. That's that might not be the best range for the flute. That is, yeah, I accidentally played it down an octave. Don't want it that low. There we go. So we're gonna copy, paste this into our shorts. Okay, make sure our articulation is set correctly this time. This can come down. Yeah, that'll be fine. I also want to place this in the piccolos. A little sweep up. All right, that'll work. I don't think I renamed my live stream, actually. I think we're on number 49. There we go. That's better. We are also going to take this, put it into our oboes. Big woodwind sweep. See how it does in the clarinets too. Now when they get to the top, I want them to do that same pattern that they did back here, which is what the violas are doing. Just gotta make sure I'm placing this in the right spot. Yeah, that's right. Okay, put it into the shorts as well. Whoa, like that. No. Place it here. Fix our velocities a little bit. Now I am also going to take those notes and put them into our piccolos. Piccolos didn't do them earlier, but they get to join in on the fun this time. Just an octave above. Now that the texture is a whole lot thicker, I'm not worried about piccolo jumping out too much. Make sure my articulations are set. Okay. We can also do the same here in the oboe. And you know, it is funny, like sometimes if you go and read scores of, you know, famous classical music, like I was reading the score to Shostakovich 7 earlier today, and you know, it is sometimes you do realize uh how often there's a lot of like doublings and essentially copy and pasting. Obviously did it all on paper, but um there is you will find that there is a lot of repeated things even in the great masters of classical music. So I don't really feel bad about having these repeated lines at all. Do I want it in the clarinets though? I do need to decide what I'm gonna do with what the woodwinds are gonna do here. We're gonna go to our shorts. I would I would absolutely fail trying to do that, so I'm just gonna pencil them in, honestly. Repeated for the entire measure here. Then we could take these, put them in the piccolo. Actually, you know what I want to try? Maybe we take out this last measure here. And hold on, I gotta answer a work-related text. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay. Oh, did I put this in the legato? I did not mean to do that. I meant to put this in the shorts. But I do want this last note here in the legato. So what I was thinking is cut off that beat 4 and then just repeat. Where am I at right now? Repeat these notes here on this last beat because it's the same amount of time. It's right. It's 2/8 notes. It's just now we're in 4/4 time and not 5/8. So it'll still occupy the same amount of time. But we just repeat these notes. Well, hold on. Let me grab these, paste them here, bring our velocities down. Right, that it kind of gives us a little scalar flourish there at the end of this section. Which could be good. Sorry, I'm gonna reply to this. Working while working. It's a good problem to have. Okay. Where was I? Sorry about that. Oh, I got comments. Wow. I do have formal training. Yes. I'm actually wearing this shirt right now. Um, where's my OBS? I went to the Berkeley College of Music. I did it online though. Um, so I do have a conservatory or university training, whatever you want to call it. Um, but most of my training was in specifically in composition, right? So there are certainly a lot of homegrown, if you will, self-taught orchestration stuff, and of course lots of reading. There are orchestration textbooks that I have PDF versions of that I was actually consulting today for some of my orchestration work that I mentioned at the start of the stream. I'm doing some orchestrating for a different composer, and there are some things I had to consult my PDF textbook on orchestration about because I couldn't quite remember how to do the thing. But I'm also an absolute nerd for scores, so learn a lot of orchestration just by reading. I have a whole shelf of stuff down there, reading scores of people who are much better than me. So, anyways, we're gonna have this little. I do like this idea of having this little A Phrygian scale rise up right here at the. Oops, grab that. Right here at the end. I'm not gonna put it in the strings though. The strings are gonna continue doing what they're doing, chugging along down there. Let's go right here. Bring our velocity down. Okay, so flutes should sound like this now. Okay, let's before we play it and everything else, let's also put it in the oboes because it was in the oboes as well. Because I'm afraid if I just leave it as the flutes, that will go. Essentially, you won't hear it. Right, and so that's kind of an issue. We're gonna do the same thing here in the oboes. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3, 4. Bring up our velocities. Let's repeat these 3 times here. And then take our little flourish up. Drop our velocity down. Ooh, Bach is good. I did some work writing a Bach chorale quite a while ago. But it was a lot of fun. But sorry, Bach. I am more of, or Bach, however you want to say it, Bach. I'm more of a romantic music kind of guy. I don't know what that says about me at all, but here we go. We're gonna bring our clarinets. I'm still unsure if I want the clarinets to fill in some of the space in between, like the other woodwinds are doing here, or if I should just leave the clarinets out of this section. I'm unsure. We'll have to figure it out. Okay, so I got these woodwinds up here in this area. We might also bring in bass clarinet, but with the strings and everything, this is how this sounds. It wasn't, or I guess woodwinds by itself. I have them soloed. All right, and now with the rest of the orchestra. it's as I mentioned, I'm still mocking it up, so of course, balance and just overall realism is not necessarily what I'm focused on right now, because the balance is quite off, right? Because if in theory, if this was a live orchestra, um, and I had three flutes and a piccolo and three oboes and three clarinets all playing these they're not unison, but they're playing in octaves like this. That's gonna be a pretty big sound, and yes, the strings are gonna be very loud, but um, the balance would be a little bit different than this. So, anyways, I'm not worried about it. That will sort itself out within time. Right now, let's just get the notes down, because having the notes down is really helpful. Anyways, ooh, I haven't brought in the harp yet. I need to do that at some point. Okay, so from the beginning, using so many instruments, I can't. My screen is not big enough to see everything. Oh, come on, Logic, you can do it. Kind of flubbing a little there at the end, but that's all right. We are cooking here. This is I think it's going pretty well. All right. Lots of work still needing to be done. This is not for anything specifically. It's not for it's not for a concert. It's not for a film or anything. Um, this is just for my own pleasure. Um, but with that being said, the idea is to write something very much in the kind of late romantic style that, if I'm ever blessed enough to get a live orchestra to do, um, I would absolutely love to perform this with a live orchestra, um, which conveniently enough gives me time to plug um, my new series that I started on YouTube that I titled Note for Note. So if anyone is out there and they want to see read along versions of some of the scores that I've done, the first one that I put out last week for my Adagio for Strings is out on YouTube now. So please go check it out. I'm very, very proud of all the work that I put in on that thing. I gotta open my window. I forget daylight savings time makes it dark in here. Yeah, the first Note for Note is out, and I'm super proud of it. So if you want to listen to the music and do a follow along, read along with the score as it goes by, I think it's fun, right? I'm a nerd for scores, so I was super happy to make that video. And I'm definitely going to be making more of them, including for I'm planning on doing all 7 movements of my Creation Symphony. That'll be coming up whenever I find the time to do them. But then also like a piece like this, right, could be really good for that kind of format. It would take a whole heck of a lot of work to do. But anyways, I'm definitely open to do it if people are open to watching that kind of video. I know Austin Wintory does a lot of that stuff, which I greatly admire, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm trying my own way into doing that. So please go check that out. All right, I'll get off my my soapbox and get back to writing music here. Anyways, Beacon's link, or go to my YouTube channel, which if you're on YouTube right now, which I know you are because that's where I'm streaming, go check it out. Note for Note for my Adagio for strings. Really happy with that one. Okay. What's my symbol doing here? Forget. Yeah, that's right. I just didn't play that last time. You will notice here in the brass that there is no CC data yet. That is by design. I haven't forgotten. But that does mean that this entire line is just very lifeless right now and kind of flat and just, you know, whatever, straight across. Kind of boring. But again, it's just in the spirit of getting the notes down on the page. So that we will definitely come to a lot of the CC stuff later. Hear me out. This is what happens when I compose. I listen back to my stuff, and then I'm like, some idea pops into my head. I'm like, that might be cool to do, so we're gonna try and do it. And I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but is there a hanging over string note or something? What does that sound? Is there a... Is someone playing something wrong? Hold on. Something's tickling my ear that sounds incorrect. That's correct. Might just be the length on the violas. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy. Oh, you know what it is? It's this last note in the woodwinds. What if I mute this last note? Right, because the strings all stop before they play this note. So it might be a good idea to mute this note in the winds as well. think that'll be fine. There's probably some brass lines hanging over. But again, we'll fix all that. We'll fix it all later. Okay, here we go. Back to the idea that I was thinking of. I want to go grab my flute shorts. Is there a multi-tongue? I think there is. There is a multi-tongue patch, which I might just use. Because I want to kind of do... I want to do what the snare is doing. Snare's rolling on that beat. Brum. Brum. Ba-ga-da-dum. Ba-ga-da-dum. The little triplet thing in the woodwinds. I probably played that very poorly, but I think the idea is there. Ba-ga-da-dum, ba-ga-da-dum. I definitely missed this first one up. That was not correct. Let's try this. I know this is absolutely incorrect. That's kind of... Ooh, that's wrong. Yeah, I failed on some of these. I don't know. Oops, that's wrong. Because I know this would be possible for live musicians, right? Flutes can triple tongue, just because of the way the flutes work. It's triple tonguing is a whole heck of a lot harder on reed instruments that actually, go inside your mouth, like oboes and clarinets. But triple tonguing is possible for the flutes. I'm not a flute player. Thinking it might just work. Also, I don't know if I'd rather use, for example, because these are all set to staccatissimo. I don't know if I'd rather use, let me just place a note, just a random note. I don't know if I'd rather use the multi-tongue feature, because the multi-tongue for, like in these Spitfire libraries, it's kind of the same with like marcato or tenuto articulations, where they're kind of set at a specific length already that sometimes does not work with the tempo that you're going with. Right, and then you get that really long tail. That like, it doesn't matter the length of the note. It all still plays the same. Also, it just doesn't sound very good. And I think that's just a double tongue. That's just a da-ga, 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 and not a da-ga-da, da-ga-da, or a da-ga-da-da, da-ga-da-da. Right? So I can't specify how many retonguing, I don't know what the phrase is, um, how many beats are actually there. Um, so that's why I never use this multi-tongue patch. I just don't think it's good. So I do take the staccatissimo, and then it's just a matter of making sure the finding the right balance in the velocities to make it sound realistic. It's not bad. That's bad. So, anyways, doesn't sound too bad. I know it's possible. I might even do a little divisi here. So I'm going to copy this. And instead of divising in the A3, I'm going to jump up to my flute A1s and take these same notes and put them B flat, maybe? I think that we either do B flat there or down to D. If we do, I think we might do D, but I want to put the A3 because that's a stronger sound on the lower note. Then we'll just raise the velocities of this one. Where do these go? Around here, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Nope, I was incorrect. How many? I'm losing track real quick. It's just 3. Okay. Just these right here. Go right here. Push that up to E flat because that's what our strings are doing. Kind of getting that E flat kind of stress note in there. So we can do the same thing. Where'd my flutes go? I don't know if I want these on this first measure. That's not bad. And then our clarinets, because our clarinets are dying for something to do here. I know, clarinets. I'm neglecting you. Clarinets are going to join in with our violins here on this rising line here. I don't think they'll probably separate from the rest of the strings at this point. Haven't decided yet. We'll figure it out. It might even go into the clarinets, might even get the melody here with the horns. Look at that, clarinets moving up in the world. There it is. Is this too high? I think I'm an octave. That's too high for the clarinet. So clarinets are gonna go. Yeah, let's drop these down an octave. Now you can join in with the melody, which I need to read because I can't remember anything. So close, and I messed it up there at the end. Where did I mess up? This should be a 16th note here. Ooh, that's all kinds of wrong. There it is. Let me just double check with the horn. Yep. Now, same thing that I did with the horns. I'm going to take all these notes and I'm going to put them into the shorts patch as well, just so we get a little bit of extra support and front of all the notes. Just a little bit, just a little extra emphasis. Right, it's just very small. I might even bring out this ending a little bit more. It's a very, very slight thing, but I think it does make a difference. Violins are going crazy over here. Violas, what are we doing? Why are we not playing anything? Use my violas. That'd be way too fast. Did I just nail that? Got a little flub note in here, but take all this and I quantize it to 16th note. Oh my gosh, I nailed it. Let's go. Not sure how I want to arrange the velocities on this. Let's try doing this. So, with this little up-down passage, if I look at what the melody is doing, I kind of want to make sure that I'm not leaving any, like, I can change some notes here, right, to this E flat here, because we have E flat up here. We can go to F sharp here, because we have F sharp in the melody. One has 71% strength. Let's go a little tougher than that. Take all these bottom notes, bring them out even more. Actually, this entire section can come up. Okay. You're going too long. You know what I might do? I might take these and bolster their ranks, so to speak. Bring in solo viola once again. I don't know why you default pizzicato. What a spiccato, please. Is that a, what is that? Like the because there's like, and I never really bother with this, but there's like this tightness slider here in the BBCSO. I guess it kind of cleans it up a little. I don't want to mess with that though, but I will automate that just for this section, right? Because I don't want to mess with it in the entire thing, because I really don't use that function. So I'll just do, if we just do this. I guess that cleans it up a little bit. I wonder if I should use that for any of our violin stuff. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know. I don't know things. Right, like maybe here in the violin short, I can do the same thing. Oh, I remember what the tightness does. Tightness actually, it will cut off the end of the sample. So for these fast passages, yes, it sounds a little tighter, right? It sounds like each note is shorter and more compact, but at 100% strength, it clips off the end of the sample. So you get that, yeah, gross. Also makes that ending sound weird. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it out. I think it's fine here in the viola, just for this section, but I definitely don't want to overuse. Um, definitely don't want to overuse this because it does cause some problems. All right. Before we go on to the next section, we'll probably not go on to the next section today. We'll probably save that for tomorrow. What else can we add in, specifically in woodwinds or percussion? We do also need to clean up this horn moment, because the horns are the thing here. Right, the horns are carrying, um, but obviously the balance is way incorrect. Is it getting dark in here? My goodness. I have a lamp over there. It's so far away. It'll be fine. I know what I want to do. I want to jump over to my bassoons. Do we need any bassoon action here in this middle section here? We do need bassoon action, but we're gonna go over to our longs and join in with the low brass party. Can't go that low. Oops, I pressed key switch. Alright, here we go, bassoons. There you go, bassoons. Are you happy now? Get something to do. Bass clarinet longs are not going to do what the chimbasso and tuba are doing. They're going to do what the upper trombones are doing. That's not a bad sound, though. I would only... Oops, stop. I would use this low end of the bass clarinet if it was a more exposed bass clarinet moment. Right now, that range in the bass clarinet is not going to be heard at all. Um, Not like this is going to be heard at all, but, you know, whatever. This is just such an interesting texture. It reminds me of Star Wars. I don't know why. Like Yoda, Dagobah, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. No, I forgot to put in a last note there. Let's go. We have G, B flat, D. Kind of just hovering around G minor, G Phrygian this entire time. Which is fine. It's still interesting enough music, I suppose. Are these overlapping? They are overlapping. Just for the sake of realism, and if it was a real person playing, I don't want those to overlap. Because there would only be probably only one bass clarinet player. So I'd rather just small things like that add just a little bit more to the realism scale when working with samples. So. We're going to jump to our soon shorts, and we're going to kind of mimic the violins here, except not the entire string of notes. This might also be a good moment to bring in the contrabassoon, which I don't think I have working yet. Might not be a bad idea to bring in contrabassoon. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring in the contrabassoon here in a second. So we're gonna do that, and then as well, which I just thought about while recording that, is that we're gonna come in and kind of support our flute friends a little bit as well. With a little extra spice going on in there. Okay, now let's jump over to our contrabassoons. Are we loaded up, contrabassoons? We are. I can hardly hear them, or maybe I'm just been listening to the music has just been so loud that my perception of what is loud is out of whack. I mean, even looking at my audio levels on OBS. This is a very, very soft instrument, unfortunately. Even though all my stuff is all the way up. So I could bring it, I could mic it differently, but I don't want to do too many radical things with it. Here we go, back to the beginning. There you go, contrabassoon, you're welcome. Now, contrabassoon, do we want to go to our longs and double the regular bassoons just an octave down? Probably. I jumped up the octave. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. But who cares? Let's do that. No, not trills. Longs, please. Okay, now back to our bassoon shorts. Honestly, just save myself the time. Just copy and paste it over here down an octave. Okay. Definitely have some percussion work that is going to happen in here. The problem is right now it's like as soon as the strings get off of there, and this is again just a mix issue, balancing issue that will sort itself out in time. Oh my gosh, it is getting dark in here. That'll sort itself out within time. It's just right now when the violins go and join on that melody, it kind of loses a lot of energy. So that'll fix itself, and we can do some stuff, especially in the percussion, to help remedy that. I turned on my lamp. Is that any better? I think so. It's not as dark in here. Like a vampire writing music in my little cave all alone in the dark. Heard some music from Frankenstein played live at this concert that I mentioned earlier. The Deadline, conducted by Alexander Desplat, which was fantastic. It's really beautiful music. Anyways, yeah, great concert. A lot of fun. Okay, let's see, we're gonna stream for about 18 more minutes, so let's make the most of this time and try and fix this little section here. All our brass drop out and our strings go into the melody, so let's see what we might want to do here. Yeah, let's get a cymbal roll going. Do I want it to ring for that long, though? Nah, that kind of did not sound that great. I'll just make it a longer. More gradual thing. Nope, I hate that. Let's my tam-tam is not loaded, unfortunately. Well, it's not loaded completely. Oh, there it goes. That was quick. Is that too strange of a sound coming in at this point? I don't like that either. What this also does have is bowed tam-tam. Bowed tam-tam is a lot of fun. So what I can do is take that and then bounce it out to audio so I can actually see. Hardly see it at all anyways. But where's my ring? There it is. Can't just cut off the reverb and... So I can actually shift this around to exactly where I want it, which is not there. Let's mute this. Just a very slight introduction of a tense little color there. I don't think it's terrible. I think it works. but it obviously is not enough to kind of bridge this change of energy. And you know what? I mean, the kind of drop off in the energy here is kind of, oh my gosh, I just looked at my YouTube. Is that, have I always been this stuttery? I know the frame rate is probably terrible. Am I dropping frames? I think it's my stream's bit rate. If you've been around the stream before, you know I have a complaint. Why did it go black? I've complained many, many times about like my internet issues and not having a good enough internet to support a higher bit rate, and um, I don't know. It's been an issue, but we're trying to work through it. At least we're not dropping 50% of my frames this time, which has happened in the past. But we're doing pretty good today. So, what I was saying is, I think the kind of shift in energy here is mostly due to just not, the orchestration hasn't been fully fleshed out. Right, there's still some instruments that we can throw in there, particularly in the woodwinds, and help out the horns a little bit more. So I'm not too terribly worried about the energy shift. At some point, we do need to shift it down, anyways. It's just funny because we're only a minute in. So if you're new to the stream, let's jump back to the beginning, listen to it all the way through, and see how we feel with the whole piano roll of all of the instruments, maybe with the exception, take out some of the let's take out some of the percussion, because percussion doesn't necessarily have set unless it's pitched percussion. So look at this. How many, we got 75 regions. I don't know how many notes we got. This is close to 5,000 notes, and that's not even including the percussion. Anyways, even my my own screen is slowing down. It's getting real choppy. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Sometimes, like, this is what I did Tuesday. Sometimes after a while working on all this music, sometimes you just need a gosh, could play right notes. You just need a little piano calming thing to soothe the brain from all this um, super intense music and stuff. But, anyways, enough being a baby about it. Do our oboes match the violas here, maybe? Why not? Give the oboes something to do. And put that in the right place, so yeah. Staccatissimo. That might be a little hard for in real life players. I haven't done 16th note tonguing exercises in a while. I used to be able to do it at like 120 16th notes, like straight tongue, but it's been a hot minute since I've practiced. So I don't know. Maybe professionals would be able to do that. Who cares? Let them play. Maybe your piccolos. I heard something in my mind that I want to put down. Yeah, I was thinking about it. This is a what, four bars of straight 16th notes. Technically, they should be. You could do it. I'm not an oboe player, so I don't entirely know how much. Oh, they wouldn't be able to. I don't expect anyone to be able to circular breathe. Um, 4 bars of 16th notes at 112. Technically, any professional should be able to do that on one breath. I don't know how much air oboe takes. I'm pretty confident that it takes a lot. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to give them a, like, even just these 2 eighth notes here. That's probably a pretty good idea. Um, just even that brief respite here. Um, but yeah, breathing considerations are definitely something that um, I do focus on, especially when I go in and do a lot of the CC data, like the moving around these things. Breathing is definitely something I do take into consideration, especially for these wind instruments. What was I doing? I was hearing something in my head. Did I do that right? What I was thinking? What I was thinking? Not even sure what the subdivision on this is. 16th note triplets. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. It's just a small little different um little pattern just floating on top of everything. This is not meant to be incredibly loud and like stick out of the texture in any way, but it is just a small little moment for our flute friends. It's really supposed to color the viola line. Anyway, so we're gonna end the stream here in a minute. So let's listen to it all, which is just a minute of music, but it's very, very involved. So we're gonna listen to it all, and then we will end the stream because it's getting late for me, and I don't know where everyone else is in the world, but I don't know. Whatever. Let's listen to it all. Lots of fun things happening. Lots of music still left to be made. I don't have any indication on how long the final piece of music is going to be. But we've been working on this for 3 days now, and we've got 1 minute of music. So if that gives you any indication on how long this might take. I don't know. There's a whole heck of a, sometimes individual projects of like 5 to 7 minutes that I do have this many regions. Um, it kind of looks like this, but we are only a minute in. So, a lot of fun. So anyways, thank you everybody for coming out to the stream. I do really appreciate everyone who stopped by. Goodness, be sure to check out this beacons link that is in the description of this video. You can find all my streaming services: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, as well as social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that stuff. If you want to support the channel, give me a follow in that way. I do really appreciate it. Go check out the Adagio for Strings, note for note, the read-along score that I put up, I think it was last week. Can't remember. Time is running together. But that's up on my channel. I'm super proud of how that video turned out. So go check out the Adagio for Strings read-along, titled Note for Note. It's a new series I'm starting. I'm definitely going to be working on some different music in that same score read-along fashion. So go check that out. And I will see you all back here for tomorrow's stream at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to continue with this raucous, intense, loud, fast-paced, too many notes music. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific Time. So I will see you all